Oh, Dave Coombs, what are you doing? What's Dave Coombs up to? He's had a message deleted.
Right then, Craig Marsh versus Clint Jansen, quarter-final of the professional event.
So just to recap, anyone who's interested in the Coventry or Heathrow events, just send us a message on Facebook or Messenger to myself, Simon, anyone.
What a break!
And we will definitely get back to you. Be it I'm likely to be today, but don't panic. We will get back to you in the next day or two and get you sorted.
Right, let's get some. Should we get some score predictions in on this match?
I think. Well, if it keeps breaking like that, if he clears these, that tells me he's in the zone.
There's obviously been interesting to see how Craig's reacted to winning the World Championships. He'll be the first to admit that his form hasn't been the same. He's dipped in and out of form and it's therefore not gone on to the deeper ends of the tournament so far this year. Didn't qualify for any of the World Series events either, which annoyed him. As somebody that watches a lot and plays against Craig, I've noticed that his focus doesn't seem to be quite as sharp as it was at the Worlds. I think his talent and his ability is without question. He is as talented as anybody I've ever seen play the game. But I think he won the World Championships because of his focus. He was so on it that week, and I don't think he's had that since. So we saw in his first round match in the professional on Friday that he was sort of interacting with his mates in the crowd and during the match and things like that. That he just simply wasn't doing that at the World Championships. He's so much more focused. And to be honest, that with the professional event being here on the Sunday now, that might help him because there isn't as much distraction, because on the Sunday a lot of the other players, and there's less people in here watching. It might help him focus more because he's got no one to distract him. So, yeah. But I also think he gets frustrated a little bit too quickly because of that. So, if he stays focused, absolutely, I think he'll win a tournament before long. And it could be today. Yep.
And I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think if he keeps the focus and he keeps breaking like that, then it's going to be hard for Clint to keep up with him. But we know Clint's in great form, so it's going to be a great battle.
Two different styles of break. Clint very openly yesterday said that he, after playing Mark Boyle, that break was so good, the cut break, that he's copied it, he's worked on it, and he's got his own version of it, and it was working brilliantly yesterday.
Neil Toms. Hi Neil. Kev, do you think Blackball is getting more bigger than EPA? More and more counties are changing over to Blackball local leagues. Well, I'm not too close to the county structure. I mean, Simon will know probably a bit more than that than I do, but I think that there's no doubt Blackball is getting bigger. There's the evidence is there to see. The EPA is is the EPA. They do their thing, we do ours, and don't really want to say too much about them because we've obviously had issues in the past with them, but I think it's never been about us and them for me. It's just about us being as good as we can be, and for me, you get the product right, and everything else takes care of itself after that.
I think the Blackball is growing. See a lot of guys that sort of moving over to the game. coming this way and less so the other way, and yeah, without wanting to get into a debate about rules and codes and everything else, I just think my personal opinion is for the game to move forward, Blackball's the version that will take it there. It's entertaining and great fun to play, but also entertaining to watch. And yeah, I think the game is growing, not just in the UK, where obviously we're based and focused, but also around the world.
You know, we think Blackball is the way forward. We think, you know, the rules help create the excitement, but you know, the rules are just part of what we're doing, and everyone's free to play what they want. That's all we want. Just want to play pool.
So Clint's just trying to work out which ball he wants to use to get on that black, which is obviously going to be the tricky ball of the finish here.
Just going to roll the one in the middle last, and then black up the rail. Yeah, sad day for pool, and a couple of pool clubs have closed, which is always disappointing to see. I think the opposite is happening in the northeast, where clubs are opening and you're doing really well. Just unfortunate in the northwest, not quite as vibrant by the looks of it. We're just getting some scores updated, so we'll keep you updated. Bevy's just doing the rounds with the iPad. So if you're on Q Score, you'll be able to see the scores change without waiting for us. He's just going to slot this down the rail. He's not missing this. It's a tough shot, but he's queuing well.
He has missed it.
I knew I'd call it. Yeah,
commentator's curse. I'll thank you for that later.
Yeah, don't remind him.
Yeah, I always find those finishes frustrating, because you know at the end of the finish you're going to end up with a big shot on the black, because just the way the frame pans out, you know that you're not going to move the black. It's there, you put your play on it, but you also know it's not that easy. So I always find those little quite frustrating finishes. So Craig's got one bad ball to work out. The red nearest the black. Obviously, he needs to decide whether to move it, whether to play on it or play a double. It's interesting to see what he decides with that ball.
I think he's going to try and move it from this one in the middle. He's played that well. Clint, he'll be still buzzing from last night. I bet his phone's still non-stop.
Yeah,
it's all about this shot. He's missed it. You know, he could play an expansive one here, you know. He could play this in the middle bag off two or three rails. Off the right hand rail, top.
Lots of
bottom left.
I think he's playing it.
Yeah. Oh, he needs to give it more than that, surely. There's no sense in it at that pace.
So, you think he's going to try and move it for a third time, or do you think he'll just play on a double?
Well, with the angle he's got, he might try and play a really precise positional shot and try and come behind it into the same bag. He's moved it out. What a great shot that is. Judged that well. He had a great angle though. Drills that in. He's up for this match, isn't he?
Yeah.
Drops the black in.
That was a brilliant shot. Third time lucky, but brilliant shot. Do you think it annoys Craig, or it would be frustrating Craig, that he's the world champion, but obviously with what's happened in Tour 1 and 2 and the World Series, Mark Farnsworth and Mark Boyle have gained a lot of more attention in recent times. You know, he wants to be the man. Do you think that has an effect on him at all?
It's hard to say. I don't really know much about what he does away from the tour. I can imagine that winning the Worlds, it's a hard act to follow, and you know, it could be hard to get the motivation going. It's how do you beat winning the Worlds? You know, you can't do it. So it could be that, you know, he's had a bit of a reaction to winning it, and you know, maybe he's coming out of that spell, and you know, we're starting to see the Craig Marsh we all know and love watching. To a certain extent, the same's happened with Gareth Ibbott.
Yeah, he's had a lot of early exits of late.
Must be difficult. Having never been in that position, I'm never going to be in that position. It's 2-0 to Craig Marsh. Just Dave's just updating the scores now. Thanks a lot for your comments, Neil. Yeah, I mean, you know, the tour has come on in the last 2 or 3 years. It has taken a lot of hard work. It's taken a lot of belief, a lot of brave decisions, and a whole host of other things. But it's certainly, hopefully, everyone can see it's heading in the right direction.
And Neil's saying that same thing happened to Jack as well. He won the world title and hasn't gone on to too much after on the tour.
Yeah,
still wins events away from the tour as they all do, but I'm not sure he's won an event as a professional or an open event since he won a few amateurs. He played at an extremely high level after the World Championships, but that was more in the amateur events. I thought I really fancied Jack to win a tournament this weekend. I thought he would. I actually thought he'd win the professional event this weekend, but lost to Mark Farnsworth this morning.
Yeah, I think, like I say, he's just not quite hit the standards that I mean, when he won the Worlds at Sheffield, at Rotherham, his break was immense. He wasn't just potting 1s and 2s; he was potting 3s and 4s. Yeah. I'm not sure he's quite hitting them as well as he was. I'm sure Jack will be the first. You know, if we ever get him on, you know, get him interviewed, he'll be the first to say why. He's a very open and honest guy. Good response there from Clint.
I guess that's confidence for you. You know, he's missed a ball down the rail to go 1-all and hasn't let it affect him or affect the next visit he's got. He's sat and waited for his opportunity and had to watch Craig pull out a couple of great shots to counter clear on him in the last frame, but got his opportunity, he's taken it, and he'll be thinking a big break here and it'll be 2-2.
Yep. And it'll be interesting if he does to see how Craig reacts to that. Do we need to ban the cut break?
Yeah, somebody was asking that last night, and I can't see for what reason. I'm quite happy having a variety of styles and breaks, and do we all want to break? Do we all have to be told we have to break the same way? I can't see the benefit of it.
Well, he's potted 3 balls, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, and if it was that good a break for everyone, if it was that easy to cut break and make a ball and get a good split every time, then everyone would be doing it. It isn't.
Results please in table 19, and results twice please.
That red in the middle of the top of the table, not the one nearest the black, the one more in open play. I'm not sure that goes to either top pocket. So he's got to play a good positional shot now.
I think that goes top right, don't you?
If it goes top right, then it's absolutely ideal. I'm just wondering whether it does, though. Probably didn't, because he's played up the table off that. He still needs a good positional shot. Needs an angle on the neck thread to get back for the black. Looks a little short of pace. He wanted that.
Can he screw? I don't think he can.
I think he can get back to the side rail somewhere near where he was just pointing his cue. Then he needed that white to go another few inches.
Interesting comment here. Neil Thompson's. That's a great shot. Great shot. It's the problem is there's so many top quality players, you'll always get so many different winners. The break is what separates the top players. Well, an interesting fact for you, that probably the two worst breaks in the professional ranks is probably Mark Farnsworth and Ronan McCarthy, and they are the number 1 and 2 seeds. So make of that what you will.
Yep. I think I've said this a few times on commentary, and I think too much is made of the break. I think the break is absolutely massive and the most important shot in the frame. I think that's without question. But the break gives you the opportunities. They don't win you the matches. You get the opportunities, then you have to take them. Yes, you can have days where you break brilliantly and you get good opportunities and you take them, and your opponent might just sit there and go, "Oh,
that's twice has gone enough.
I lost
now
because of the break," but that isn't necessarily the case.
Sam Mills is saying, hopefully one day you won't get punished for playing different rules. It will be far better for everyone, players and businesses. Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
The only thing I would add to that is that it's the players that have the power. If all the EPA players boycotted their events and said, we're not going to go until you change the rule, then they'd have to change it. The players have the power. They don't always choose to use it, but they have it. So how is Craig going to react now? I mean, his last 2 breaks, 2-0 up, playing well. Enough, followed by enough.
So far, so good. Just looking at him in his chair, he looks similar to how he did in the World Championships. He showed a brief moment of frustration as the light went off, and then sat in his chair and he's calmly waiting for his next visit. That's pretty much the pose he adopted for the whole tournament, in his chair, just sat there motionless. So far so good for him.
There he is.
It's finished a bit awkward for Clint there. Do you think that red that he's nearest to goes in the right middle?
Yeah, it flies in.
Oh, it does fly
camera 3.
yeah. So I take that back. He hasn't finished awkward. So he's very good.
Sort of almost perfect.
Yeah, perfect, in fact.
The amateur final, as Phil rightly says, will take place after the semis. The Sunday is always a bit of an unknown. You know, we're governed by the results and how and when they come in as to what matches get on the stream. We always try to get the amateur final on. It's not always successful, but if it's possible, we will. And the priority will always be to the professional event.
Needs to be careful when he plays this plant. Make sure that he stays on the red that he's planting on. Played that well. You going to take that question, Kev?
Oh, wow. Didn't see that one coming.
It was quite close to the jaw, and obviously he wanted to pot it thick to give him control on the white, but not that thick. So a mistake. So now we'll see what Craig's got.
So I've been asked a question around, is the IPA always going to play Blackball rules, or is there ever going to be world rules involved? Well, as long as I'm chairman, we will be playing Blackball and not Worlds. The Blackball are the, they are the official WPA rules. So if we went to World Rules, we'd lose our WPA accreditation, which is really important to us. So
Craig's going to be really annoyed with that. He's nudged the ball that did go, and he's made it awkward. So it's getting harder from here.
Ooh. So there would be no plans to ever move back to World Rules, but. Thanks for the question.
We have some scores.
Ben and Simon at 0-0 still. Jimmy Carney and Aidan Finch 6-all. John Shepherd beat Harry Irwin 8-5, so he's playing Ronan McCarthy, who was the same 8-5 winner over John McAllister. John McAllister, one of them players, he won the European Professional in Warwick last year.
Yeah.
Played amazing. Great performance.
Yeah, brilliant.
Not quite kicked on from there, has he?
No, not yet. No.
So we'll get to the amateur.
It's a great shot from Clint, playing a full length of the table swerve, but that's only half the problem with this visit. He's made the ball and given himself a shot at the black, but it's a very tough black. Okay. We just had an update that Simon Ward and Ben Davis are 1-all. Huge shot for Clint.
Fancy to get this. No. It's too. Yeah, I thought it was just a bit wide. That went straight, did that? So you can't blame it.
That went straight the whole way. Started on the jaw and never moved.
Yeah. If it had been on green cloth, it would have curved in.
Yeah.
But what's he left, Craig? A plant? Does this yellow go at bottom? It was miles off.
Tough shot that for Craig. It wasn't easy. And Clint's having a look at the table, but it didn't roll off at all.
So in the amateur, starting to take shape now. Quarter-final, Jake Newlove. He plays the winner of Mark Bowen and Luke Boakes. Scott Gillespie plays Gary Clark.
Take the second, please. Gary Clark and Scott Gillespie.
As I say that, just been told help. So they're starting out on table 7. The winner of Cole Bedford and Kevin Rainbow. So he must have had a good win. So he beat Ryan Clark. Yeah, that's a good win. That was somebody's tip. Was that Bebby's tip?
That was Bebby's tip. We'll put some commentators' curses out there.
Yep, they're up and running now. Gaz Higgins, he beat Arthur Dad 7-5.
Yeah, and that was one of my picks. We've done well here.
So he plays the winner of the Cole Bedford Kev Rainbow match. And then Craig Brown and G Crawley. They've just started out. Oh no, they've been going. I've got an update on that one. So the winner of that one plays Ian Alley.
So quarterfinals are starting to take shape, but we've got a few matches yet to go to see the full lineup. It looks like that tournament's at a very similar stage to this tournament, with a couple of last 16 matches still going, maybe a match behind. So just thinking about the potential of having the amateur on the final, amateur final on the stream. It's easy for me to say. It's looking like the finals will be at a very similar time at this stage, but long way to go.
So current score 3-2 to Clint.
I think this is a really big visit for Craig. He will just be starting to get frustrated with how this has gone from 2-0. He's had a couple of looks, not been easy, but he may just be starting to get frustrated. So yeah, Cole Bedford is on fire at the moment. He's playing well, but so about 10 others. So a delicate little plant here for Craig. He wants to stay on the ball that he's used to plant, because he wants to keep the one that he's nearest as his last ball to get onto the black, I think. So he played that really nicely.
Not sure about that angle.
No, I think he's okay.
Probably going to have to.
Yeah, he would have wanted, ideally would have wanted to be another couple of inches further on, so he could just drop through the gap without having to play this with side coming off the cushion. So
he might just screw it back 6 inches.
This could go wrong.
No, he's running it through.
Oh, didn't need to use the cushion or side. It was just straight, so that was absolutely fine.
Going to tie things up at 3-all.
Yeah, so it's 3-all. That was good to see from Craig. He could have. That's a situation where he could have got frustrated in the past. So good to see. He still looks focused and sharp.
Yeah, I like Nelson Rufino's comment. Let's add some hot model cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Any particular preference, male or female?
Add that to the committee's job descriptions.
Where's Dan Davey? I think he could he could trial out the new cheerleading IPA outfit. Well, at least he's not got enough.
Yeah. It's a crazy game. His first break was absolutely just perfection, and then the next 3 have been no good.
Welcome music, definitely. But, can't do it whilst we stream through YouTube, otherwise they'll just kick us off. David have nothing to do. I think there's a few sore heads this morning. Not including yours.
No, I was absolutely fine. Just trying to work out how he's going to go about this bottom end of the table. It's a little bit messy. Going to require a very good positional shot at some point to get in amongst those. Looks like he's contemplating potting this and going into the yellow and red, I think, but it looks a little thin for that. Very tricky from here. It looks a little bit easier than it actually is. It's very difficult to get.
Just playing safe. What's that all about?
It's very rare.
Would you like to explain that to the viewers? What's just happened?
Okay,
there?
so if I could give it a go. Clint has given it a lot of thought and tried to figure out how he can clear these 3 balls at the bottom of the table, and if he's decided that he's odds against doing that, then in his opinion he's made a good choice in playing a safety. So he's developed a ball at the same time as keeping Craig at bay, not leaving Craig anything to go at, in the hope that his next chance he will come to the table and be able to clear these up. I think if you don't think, I think probably that shot needs to happen more, I think. Certainly the further down the rankings you go, where players aren't clearing up in one visit as consistently. In terms of if you think your odds against clearing the table, if you've got a problem area you don't think you can clear, then find a safety. That's a good shot from Craig.
Has he covered it? I think he has.
Absolutely, as he played that to try and get that red up to that top right corner to cover yellow and black, or yellow or black, and he's managed to cover the yellow. Craig's just questioning whether Clint hit a cushion. Craig didn't realise that he feathered the yellow on the way through to the yellow up nearest the pocket, but we could clearly see that on camera. Someone's asked where are we in the comp. We're in the last 8. You can see that on the screen, just below the score. It says Pro last 8. So yeah, we're at the quarterfinal stage, which is not the quarterfinal lineup's not completely complete, but we've got this match on, and Simon Ward and Ben Davis. We've still got a couple of last 16 matches happening as well.
It's not completely complete.
Not completely complete. Yeah, it's probably not.
I like that.
Yeah.
Not completely complete. So incomplete.
Well, you've used one word where I've used 2, but that's okay. It's been a long weekend.
If only it had been just the weekend.
Yeah. Sorry. And producer Dave's just reminded me that it was 3 words, not 2 words, so I can't count or talk. So,
but apart from that, everything's
apart from that,
smooth as silk.
Best commentator in the world, can't speak. So Clint's decision to play the safety, because it wasn't a safety that was going to immediately gain him an opportunity next shot, it was more of a containing I'll develop a ball whilst keeping Craig at bay rather than something more of an attacking safety. It's kind of led us into this situation where neither player is in a position that they can go game. It's difficult for either player to find a way of getting the other to foul. So there's a bit of cat and mouse here.
On table 3, Jordan Shepherd and Rowan McCarthy, and on table 2, Mark Farnsworth and Jimmy Tyne.
Someone's just asked Kevin what the if there were no rules and all pool players could play in any event they liked, which we should just also add isn't a rule that comes from the IPA. Any player is more than welcome to come and join the IPA. How big do you think the IPA could be in terms of numbers?
Difficult to say, really. Yeah, I think it could be a lot bigger, but you're sort of determined by venues, really, and how many tables you can get in and the formats you play. You know, we are keen to give value. You know, if we just made everything single elim, then, you know, we could probably take 300 players, and but it would detract from the quality of the event. So there's certain things that, you know, we don't really want to change. So there would always be a cap on the numbers, which I think the most we can do is around 240 with the sort of current formats.
Yeah, and we could already go a lot bigger than that in terms of players that want to play. You know, we could be bigger than that already, yeah. And then so that's the cap with you know. So if that happened, and, you know, all of a sudden a lot of players wanted to come over to the IPA, I think we'd probably find that it would be quite a big change more than just adding numbers. I don't think that would just be a numbers thing. It would open up all sorts of potentials of different styles and formats and things.
Yeah, and also a lot of things will be driven by, you know, if we did get to the point where you know, a major bookmaker did get involved with us. You know, we'd have a lot of things to consider around, you know, how we would develop the professional side of things. Would the tour continue in its same guise, or would it just be a professional tour and then an amateur tour would run alongside it? You know, all those sort of questions. So it depends on a whole host of factors. I mean, it'd be great to run events with 400 or 500 people in, but it's not really. That's just not really our thing, really. You know, we're more about the quality events.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of, you know, again, the next few years there'll be hopefully lots of changes for the better as we hopefully continue to grow, and as Blackball gets bigger and the interest rises.
Whilst you were
wow.
So
That is unlucky.
That is
unlucky. He's played a great shot there. That wasn't easy.
He'll be very disappointed with the outcome of that, though. That's finished very tricky for him.
I mean, he's still got this one over the middle bag. I mean, he'd be confident of putting that off the side cushion. So, but if that black doesn't go, he's going to have to be creative again. But what an aggressive shot he's played there.
We also we just had 4 of the professional players walk past us to go to their table, so we've got the quarter-final lineup complete. So Simon Ward and Ben Davis have already started. It's a good shot from Clint. You said he'd be confident to pot it, and he did. The question is whether the black goes now. Mark Farnsworth is just won the lag against Jimmy Carney, and Ronan McCarthy has won the lag versus Jordan Shepherd. So, and of course, with this match makes up the 4 quarter-final matches.
I'm not sure about running over a full week, Phil. Don't think that's the direction, but who knows? Who knows if it's if we get to the point where it's serious prize money, then there no doubt will be 4, 5, 6 day events. No doubt about it.
Oh,
wow.
He's had a right result there.
So from the result he was unlucky before, he's made up for it with that one.
I was about to say I still don't think the black goes, and he was leaving it till last to try and do something about it, and that couldn't have come out better.
I think you've got to just applaud the aggression. He's played an ultra aggressive skill shot and been unlucky, and then he's played another ultra aggressive. He is relying on a little bit of luck, but he would have been unlucky not to have anything. Yeah,
he was just trying to give himself a shot at the black somehow, somewhere, whether that be a double or a thin cut or something. And as it turned out, it came out. I think it's the way it came out in terms of the balls. Just thought, look, it was only the last second. It's like, oh, it does go through the gap, sort of thing. So, but Craig just smiled. I think they had a little look and laugh at each other there.
Interesting comment there from Robert Woodcock. Players like Boyle should never be allowed to clean up the amateur game. Discuss, Simon Webb.
Okay. Well, players have to earn the right to be professional. With the Mark Boyle example. Mark Boyle, it's his first full season on the tour, so has to start as an amateur and earn the right to turn professional. Mark Boyle's ability, and players, he's widely regarded as one of the top players around with what he's done in Scotland and on international stage and with money matches, but that doesn't unfortunately give him a right to come in automatically as a professional. He has to earn the right like every other professional that's on the tour. I've no doubt that he will be he will be offered pro status at the end of the year. I don't think he can be caught in the amateur rankings. I think that would be so mathematically unlikely. So he will be offered professional status, and I hope he'll accept it. I expect him to accept it, and that will sort that. But it's the same for all the players. Just to clarify, the amateurs come in. The amateurs, you have a ranking system, so you get ranking points for your performances in the open events and the amateur events, and the top 16 amateurs at the end of the year will be offered professional status. So they've got 10 events, if you like, to earn their ranking points and get themselves into the top 16. There's players on a lot of the professionals that are playing now that would have started out as amateurs, or all of them would have started out as amateurs and earned their way through, so it shouldn't be any different for Mark.
And does he have to take up pro status?
Well, no. It's something we may need to review as a committee and discuss, but at the moment the top 16 are offered professional status, and it's up to them whether they accept it or not. You'd like to think that the majority of them would want to take it and get into the pro game, where there's opportunities to progress and go further, but there'll be one or two that decline it.
Huge break from Marsh. From 2-0 up, he's Clint has found the gears. Alright, a little bit of luck, but he played a couple of amazing shots.
Yeah, a couple of, I don't want to say big mistakes from Craig, because they weren't big mistakes. He had a tricky plant that he missed to lose a frame, and like I say, Clint's been quite clinical and had a couple of nudges. So yeah, he's gone from 2-0 to 5-3 down. everyone's saying that if you finish in the top 16 of the amateur, you should be automatically a pro, and maybe that's something that something the committee will discuss and potentially bring in some rule. I don't know exactly what. But at the moment, it is top 16 are offered it.
I think it's about you know, if you're going to force people to turn pro, it gets really away from what we're about. What we're trying to do is to create the pro side of things so that people are desperate to turn pro and really have no choice, even though they do have a choice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think it's just that the system, because we've changed qualifying system this year. It used to be there used to be 3 ranking lists, which to me always seemed a little clunky, and it was the top 64 in the open rankings had the option to turn professional. Of course, the majority of the top 64 in the open rankings were already professionals, or certainly a large proportion of them. But if you were an amateur, and I think top 16 in the open rankings, I don't know how you had to take professional status then, I think was the case. So we don't have that now because of the slight change in the way we do it. But I think I agree with you that we'd rather develop the pro game to such that no one in their right mind would really want to turn it down. It's a good finish from Craig.
Yeah. So what's the advantage for someone turning professional?
Sorry, Craig's just saying there's something wrong with the screen. I'm just going to check what's going on.
Well, Simon just goes to look at the screen. So the advantages of turning professional? Well, obviously all the points you get goes towards your World Championship seeding, so you avoid the bloodbath early on. You obviously can enter the World Series events, which are professional only, so you've got another 6 professional events to have a go at, and they're obviously something that we're going to look to grow over the coming years. You obviously get better start times and some little bits and pieces. You also get a say in the running of the association. So you have a voice, and in the direction of travel, and as we try to get the sponsors and the new money into the game, then if you're a professional now or next year, you're going to be in prime spot to hopefully take advantage of that. So the pro side of things is developing. Compared to where it was, say, 3-4 years ago, it's in a whole different place, and hopefully in another 3 or 4 years it'll be in a different place again. So, but I guess it's ultimately why you play the game. Do you just want to nick a few quid, which is fine, or do you want to test yourself? Every tournament against the best players around, and challenge yourself. So it can vary as to why you want to play. So but our intention is to develop the pro side of things. So as I said, it becomes the must do, the must have, rather than I won't bother because I'll get banned from going to can't play in this event and that event. So it's a journey, but it's certainly heading in the right direction.
So I'm back.
Well, what was the
technical error? There's a problem with the arena scoreboard. So I've called over our technical expert to solve the problem at the end of the frame.
It's not a loophole, it's called freedom of choice.
There's saying that those guys can stay in the amateur game and take all the money and still play in the open. it's not that easy. What
They're not taking any this weekend.
Exactly. What Mark's done in the first two events is incredibly impressive, and you know that shouldn't be. People shouldn't look at that and go, "Oh, that was always going to happen because you've got Mark Boyle playing in the amateur event." The standard of the amateurs is at such a high level that for anyone to go through and consistently win money, there's 170, 160, 170 amateurs that a huge amount of them are so capable that it's a minefield. And you're playing for less money. Why would Mark Boyle not want to turn professional? He'd be playing in a tournament for more money. Would he rather play against 80 professionals where he'd still be regarded as one of the top 2 or 3 players, or against 170 players, which is a minefield? I think I just don't buy the argument that I don't see why anyone would want to stay in the amateur for that reason. It was a very unlucky break from Clint there in this frame. As I noticed as I came back over, the white finished wedged in amongst 3 balls, but managed to work his way to player safety and get back to the table. He's got a problem now, though. So got a bigger problem now.
We'll see if we can get some score updates for you shortly. Jordan Shepherd's 2-1 up against Ronan McCarthy.
David saying that Jordan Spieth couldn't play in an amateur event, and Mark Boyle's clearly a pro. Whether Mark Boyle's ability is at pro level or not isn't the question. It's he's got to earn the right. Jordan Spieth didn't just play on the professional tour; he earned the right. He qualified through. He did what they have. They have different qualifying systems for different golf events, but he earned the right to get to that level. So he didn't just start playing on the PGA Tour, and that's where Mark is. And I've no doubt Mark. I've never asked him, but I assume Mark will turn professional next year.
It's a nicely controlled shot.
Yeah, that could have gone wrong quite easily. It's another nicely controlled shot as well. Made this fairly simple now. A little surprised he's going this way around, but I can see why. I thought he would pop the other one first and go up the left-hand side of the table, but this way is just as good, if not better, with the black being slightly to the left.
Right, I'm going to go quickly do the rounds and get the scores updated, so just give me 5 minutes.
Okay. It was a good finish from Craig. He had a shot and a visit after Clint's foul, but so he would have expected to take them out, but you've still got to mind your work and find the pattern. And Craig did that, and it's now his break with a chance to go 5-all. It's a little bit unfortunate for Craig to screw it all the way. He wants to screw, when he's playing that shot, he's trying to screw right straight back the middle of the table, and he got it a little bit to the side, but to go up and down the table through all the balls and go in the corner, he'd consider himself a little bit unlucky, but he didn't probably catch the break as good and as clean as he can do. When he's on, he's got an absolutely monster break. But it's giving Clint an opportunity to get to 6-4 in front. He doesn't need to do any developing, nudge any balls, they all go. Just needs to work his way through the frame. A little bit of discussion on the chat about whether it's for the money or the prestige. It's I can tell you from my point of view, it's the prestige. The money is you know, it's nice, and these players, you know, the money is important for all these players. But for me, it's always been about the prestige. I want to challenge myself against the best players in the world and see where I stand. Try and win tournaments on this stage. I think if it was all about the money, then there's far more lucrative things that people could be doing at this time than playing pool. Unfortunately, pool is not at a stage where there is a huge amount of money in it. We as the IPA are trying to do what we can to change that. We believe we can change that and get to the point where these guys are getting the rewards they absolutely deserve. But we're not there yet, so you know, if it was all about the money, then there's far better things you could be doing. Good shot from Clint, controlled that white nicely, leaves himself straight to the corner. Probably wasn't the pattern he was looking at when he was started this visit, but he's worked it out nicely and does complete the job and get himself 6-4 in front. Yeah, so Clint moves 6-4 in front, and it's his break, which, as he's shown so far this week, is a big weapon. I'm sure he queues up to break every break, believing that he's going to break clear, and he does a high percentage of the time. He's just in them. We've got some scores for you guys. Kev's just back. He's done the rounds, so we can update.
Yes, Jordan Shepherd. He's running around at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Although Ronan's doing the business in this one, so it's 3-1 to Shep. Ben Davis is 3-2 up against Simon Ward, and Jimmy Carney 2-1 up against Mark Farnsworth.
Yeah, and so the winner of Mark Farnsworth and Jimmy Carney plays the winner of Ben Davis and Simon Ward, and the winner of Clint Jansen and Craig Marsh plays the winner of Jordan Shepherd and Rona McCarthy. So that is your quarter-final lineup, and tournament's really taking shape now.
And in the amateur, in the Welsh battle, Mark Bowen 4-2 up against Luke Vokes. Kev Rainbow 3-1 up against Cole Bedford, and Craig Brown 6-3 up against G Crawley. So they're the 3 remaining last 16 matches. And Gary Clark, the conqueror of Mark Boyle, he's 4-1 up against the highly fancied Scott Gillespie. So these are 3 quarter-finals still waiting to go on. So they're running a little bit behind schedule. So it's Last Chance Saloon for, not quite Last Chance Saloon, but
yeah, and it's not finished good here. He's too straight to get the white back out, so he's probably going to be forced into backing himself to Q1 off the rail. Yeah, just didn't try and do too much, got the white out enough that he can cue this a bit more comfortably, and just back his queuing to make this.
Beautiful queuing, beautiful queuing. Can just enough. Can just get into this enough, I think, to screw across.
He's quite close to the rail. So might have to jack up on this. Yeah, it's a good shot.
It's a tricky black though. Drilled in.
No problem. So 6-5. Good finish that from Craig. He was a couple of problems along the way and dealt with them very well.
And Craig to break. Changed his break. He's gone to
Craig's gone to
the world of cut.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever see that with Craig with such a big, powerful break. I didn't think I'd see him cut breaking, but he hasn't broke the balls very well in this match so far, apart from the first break, which was huge. So trying something different. It's not really come out great. He's made a ball though, which is.
Everyone's saying it's 6-6.
I think it's 6-5.
Just checking that one. Yeah, because Craig broke the first frame. Do you remember the big break?
He did, yeah. He broke dish the first frame. So somewhere along the line we've lost a frame on the score.
Yeah, I think it's 6-6 there.
Okay.
Will we see a safety shot?
Just any hint of angle on this and he'd been okay, but he's just too straight to do anything. His options are very limited. Could drop this in and take a cut into the right middle, but it doesn't gain him much positionally. I think you're right. I think we're going to just see him cover the pocket. Yeah, he's not happy because I think he's left a gap for that red to probably take the pocket back. Not from here though, but
yes, potential.
So we had a frame a bit like this in the middle of the match, and Clint eventually decided to go for something to open it all up, and worked out with a couple of good shots and a couple of good nudges as well. So it took a bit of time to work out. I expect something similar to happen here. Could be a few shots, really, a bit of cat and mouse before they figure out how they're going to how one of them's going to win the frame.
So both players just looking for one opportunity. Clint obviously put one of his and play a skill shot, and Craig just wants to have a go at these yellows.
Clint would like to get the white back down to the similar area as it was before, somewhere below those two reds on the left, or between the red and yellow and the red above it, somewhere down there, but it's I'm not sure he can do it from this shot. Probably trying to get a red near that bottom right corner pocket, which could potentially be a ball to pot and screw across the table to make the skill shot.
Okay, on table 4 in the amateur event, Craig Brown and Ian Alley. Craig Brown and Ian Alley, table 4.
Great shot.
Whoa.
Great shot from Craig. He's really aggressive option. How many ball plant was that? That was a 4 ball?
Yeah, just standard.
Just a standard. Had to be, with that shot, had to be confident that the yellow he was initially playing wasn't going to get stuck behind any reds there, and it didn't. And yeah, great shot. It's given him a good opportunity to move ahead.
Just slightly over on that one. So there's a couple of ways he can play this. I suspect he'll be screwing right across off the side cushion.
So be careful not to go behind the red. He's okay.
Just. So this to take a 7-6 lead. There it goes. The ultra aggressive play again pays off.
I think when Clint played that shot, he didn't think he was leaving anything for Craig to go at. He didn't see that shot. I don't think he wouldn't have played the shot he did if he thought that was on. It was a great shot from Craig, and he got his rewards for it. I've been really impressed with Craig today, to be honest. Absolutely not been at his best, of course he hasn't, but sometimes, you know, it's winning when you're not at your best, and keeping your head and taking your chances when you're not quite at your best. So it's been really impressed with the way he's played so far. Absolutely huge cut break. Just when the cut break works like that, you just wonder why everyone doesn't do it. But you saw Craig with his cut break the frame before. It was a messy old affair. So hard to see how Clint can go wrong here. It's a fairly dot-to-dot finish now. I imagine he's leaving the yellow at the top of the table till last ball. So, but he just wants to leave a nice angle on that so he can drift back down for the black into the same pocket, or even the black into the middle, depending on which angle he gets. There's no real bad angle from there, so it's hard to see how he can mess this up, what mistake, where he could go wrong. Probably only on this shot. If he gets a bad angle on the next ball, it's the only way it could go wrong for him. Yeah,
this isn't going to be easy. I wonder if he's tempted to actually screw back now for the one at the top.
Just the way that red's gone across to the right, it's just made this slightly trickier for the positional shot off the next ball. So
yeah, I might have to screw back up for that one.
I often wonder with these guys, what percentage of breaks do you think they break dish over the course of a tournament? So what percentage of break dishing do you think?
Oh, he's miscued.
Complete miscue. Incredible. Oh. Absolutely incredible. I can't believe that.
I mean, he's looking away because he's left Craig zilch.
He has, but Craig will just be happy to get to the table. That frame was over in his mind. That was, you know, those two balls still needed to be potted. They weren't gimmies, you know, they had to be made. But that was a surprise. Yeah, what sort of percentage of frames do you think they would be? It's a good shot from Craig. Managed to get the snooker. What sort of percentage do you think they'd be happy break dishing?
I guess through a tournament, probably 30%. Do you think
30? Yeah, I wondered whether it might be a shade higher, maybe 35, maybe 40, when they're really on. I don't know. I mean, it's 30. You know, 40%'s a lot though.
I suppose some matches. Hello. Oh, I suppose some matches. You know, you're going to be at the 50-60%, maybe 70 if you know, it's all going your way. But I would think an average in a tournament. I know there are some stats on Q Score, so it's probably actually on there. Although the break dish won't be, because we don't record them. But
it's one of those stats I'd be really interested to see over the course of the season. Of course, you know, the break dish doesn't mean anything. It wins you a frame, but it does put your opponent under more pressure. You're winning your frames quickly in one visit, but it just wins you one frame. But it'd just be an interesting statistic to know is how often these guys do that. A few guesses on the few opinions on the chat, sort of 25 to 30, 20, 34. I think it's above. I think it's above 20. I think it will be nearer. I think it might be a shade over 30 would be my guess. 1 in 3, 33%. 1 in 3 break dish. I think that's you know, these top guys, these top 8, 16 players. I think that's a fairly...
See Marsh there. He knows this is his moment. He's got this match. He's just got to hold himself together. He's really pumped for this. It's good to see.
Yeah, I've said in the interview of the frames. I think this was. I'm really impressed with the way Craig's played this match, with the way he stayed focused. It's really been good to watch and good to see. Is Clint still checking out his tip? Not happy. So I doubt he's done too much damage to his tip. It's probably more in a bit of shock that he's managed to do that.
He's wanting to play another safety.
Yeah, he's had 2 or 3 safeties here where he wants to go for the finish, but it's not quite on. And he's probably thinking he needs one more safety, and each time Clint gets out of the snooker and makes it awkward again. The problem with just brushing off the red and leaving the white in the top left, you're guaranteed to get the snooker, but you may not. You're not doing anything really to open your balls up. He's probably thinking he might want to, you'd like to open the balls up whilst playing a safety. Because those 2 reds probably are quite a comfortable plant now, so you can see he's tempted to go for these.
Yeah, he wants to go, but he knows he's got this match in his grasp, so he's wanting to just play the almost a percentage shot.
Someone's asking what we mean by a break dish. So we mean, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but we just mean break and clear the balls in one visit. So break, pot a ball and clear your colours in the black. So winning the frame without your opponent coming to the table.
I saw a comment somewhere about the cloth. Somebody said comedy cloths. I assume referring to the blue cloth. So no doubt Mr. Webster won't be entering any of our events, or the Worlds, or Bradford, or anything next year. So not a problem.
I get around and speak to an awful lot. No, it's not a problem. But I get around and speak to an awful lot of the players and get their feedback for things we could do differently and that sort of stuff. And I would say I've not heard any negativity for the blue cloth at all from any of the professional players. 1 or 2, I think, probably preferred the napped, but they all like this as well. So I just think this you can do so much more. I just think this gives you a wider range of shots you can play, and therefore opens the game up more for you.
Yeah, these cloths they're in for the long haul. This is the future. This is how we see it. As I always say, if you don't like it, that's absolutely fine. There's plenty of places where you can go play, and but it's our choice what we want to do. So yeah, it's not just something, a novelty that we're just doing for a year. This is part of a long-term.
Craig won't be happy with that.
Another safety, a long-term plan. He's got a massive area where he can hide the white. Just got to be careful though, because Clint can get behind that yellow if he gets out of the safety. So he's got to leave it. So that's why he's put.
Yeah, that was clever.
Down at that side. He's not made the escape easy. But
someone's asking, are these 9-ball cloths? No, they're not, Kev. You can talk it through.
No, it's not a 9-ball cloth. The 9-ball cloth is the 860. This is the 861. So it's similar in how it's made, but it's treated with spill guard. Don't ask me the technicalities of that, 'cause I don't really know, but it does make the cloth slightly different. So the best way I can describe it is that it is a bit of a hybrid cloth, and but they play amazing. They really do, you know. And I think once you've played on them, and I mean, you just look at the tour numbers, you know, who are playing on. So that's careless from Craig. You know, people love these cloths. You know, clubs are starting to get the cloths in. I do believe that hopefully the governing bodies as such will all adopt the cloth, and that you know, it will give Blackball its own identity. But I wouldn't say they're certainly not lightning. They're certainly not speed cloths. They are a touch faster, of course, but I wouldn't say that they're faster than that Hainsworth Precision. Is it Precision?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're faster than that.
No, I don't think they are anyway. I don't think they're.
And the cloth is it's a bit more grippy, so you can actually play a wider range of shots.
Just touching on the pace, I think the pace is very, very controllable. I think it's a really nice pace. I think you really don't feel, you can get on the tables when they just feel you're always losing the white just a little bit too quick. This is nowhere near that. This is just a lovely pace. Yeah,
and every table plays the same. The cloth is so consistent. And you know, for club owners, you know, you don't need to get an iron. You know, they're very easy to maintain and long lasting. And I think a great image for the game, and it gets the sport out of the green 1980s look, which is it's just our viewpoint. So here we go. This is the last rites of this match. There'll be no double for Clint. Well done, Craig Marsh. You got over the line, played well. So did Clint, played well. Just that miscue. Probably miscue stopped a final frame thriller.
Yeah. Are we going to try and get Craig in for a few words?
Yeah, let's get him in. Yeah. But just remember the cloth has, you know, it's new. You know, clubs will start, more and more clubs will start to use the cloth. You know, over the coming months and years, so it's going to be a gradual transformation. But anyway, we've got WC in the house.
Well played, Craig.
Cheers, thanks.
Pretty impressive.
I to be honest, I'd have been really disappointed if I'd have lost, because I felt like I controlled the game all the way through when I sort of pushed him and made him go for things he didn't want to play. Like that one when after fluke when he landed on that black, I was like, oh, yeah, I could do without that. But no, I felt I played really well, actually. I controlled the match.
Well, it was a great match. I mean, Clint played his part in that. I mean, I know the shot you're referring to, but he played two ultra aggressive shots.
Yeah. Well, he had to, because I sort of pushed him. I sort of made him go, if you like. But yeah, which I hadn't know.
So you've not been in the best of form, I guess it's fair to say, since the Worlds.
No.
You find
typical me, really, innit?
Think that's coming back now?
To be honest, I've had a break. I haven't played for like 5 weeks at all. The first ball I hit was probably when I come here, so I was really rusty at the start. Like I've had things to do when I've been starting a new job and stuff. So it's yes, I know. Don't look startled, Kev.
I'm glad we sat down.
But yeah, so I haven't had a chance to play. But as the weekend's gone on, I've got a bit better, so I'm happy now.
You seemed more focused, a bit more like you were in the World Championships. It seems to be that when you're focused, you really are a handful. And
yeah, but if I need to be, otherwise anything can happen. I can miss anything. Do you know what I mean? That's just me. Is
that something you work on?
I did for the Worlds, yeah, but I sort of all gone backwards since then. But yeah, I am trying to sort of stay calm and sort of stay in the game, I suppose.
Did you think we were going to be heading to a final frame there just before he miscued?
That break, I thought, they would, when he left them all in the pockets up until, I think he went the wrong way. When he had 3 left, he should have played, when he screwed back to play the top one, I think if he just rolled that one in on the corner, he had a straight poke in him, but just roll the one in the middle and he's up the one at the top. I
think the red might have been in the way of that shot, which is why I think he had to
well, it didn't seem from where I was sitting anyway. I think he was perfect, but he just, obviously, I mean, you don't expect him to miscue and miss that yellow anyway, but I'll take it.
You could tell you were just looking for that one chance, and you had to play a few those safety shot type things.
I know. strange shots
struggling with it.
Yeah, I just wanted a sort of chance in the balls, whereas like every time he hit the yellow, he was putting it by a red, or like he tied one of my reds up there. There's just no need to go for it when it's tucked the ball like that. I mean, there's no need. So,
but you wanted to.
I wanted to. I always want to. I always want to, because I got a really bad track record of snookering people and then knocking it in out of a snooker or something. So,
you don't want to give your opponent an opportunity to do something.
That's it. I mean, if you give your opponent an opportunity to fluke it, then in my opinion, it's partly your fault. So, but I'll take that anyway.
So. What's your sort of thoughts been on the start of the tour? Obviously, Mark and the two Marks have been pretty dominant. Is that sort of spurred you into action a bit?
Yeah, it has a bit. I'm sort of over now the sort of I'm world champion thing. It's sort of it's hard coming into a tournament being the target rather than being the one who's chasing everybody. But I'm sort of starting to get used to it now. So with a bit of luck, I'll carry on going this weekend.
So you've got which side of the draw are you in?
I'm not sure.
Do you care who you play next?
No, I'm not bothered. But
well, we're going to tell you.
I normally have a look.
We're going
to
tell you, yeah.
Oh, you play either Sheppy or Ron. Oh, Sheppy's 7-3 up.
Oh, Sheppy, is it?
Looks like Sheppy at the moment.
Looks like it. You never know with Ron, do you?
You never know with him. No, that's right.
Does it bother you playing the other Welsh players? Would you rather not play them?
I've got a good record against most of them, to be fair, so I don't mind that either way. But it should be a good game. It won't be long anyway. It won't last long if it is Sheppy. So.
No, they haven't been playing that match very long. They played 10 frames very quickly over there. So.
I watched Sheppy in a week. I think it was Friday and Saturday. He must have played 4 matches in about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
combined. He beat a guy 7-0 on the table next to me on Saturday in 18 minutes.
Wow.
Unbelievable. But with a bit of luck, he misses a few, and I'll pick him up. We'll see.
So, just going back to the two Marks, do you think that's starting to raise everyone's game now? So we're starting to see Simon Ward getting back to form. Ben Davis, obviously,
Clint, of course,
yourself. Is that pushing everyone's standards up now?
Well, yeah, I think it will. I think it'll keep happening as well. Like with a lot of youngsters coming through as well. I think the game will keep getting good, keep getting better than I do. But hopefully they don't. they stop potting all these balls and give us boys a chance.
Yeah, it's crazy at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, the standards are unbelievable. Especially at the top. At the top is the standards incredible. But,
I mean, if all the top boys are playing well, which we're starting to get to that now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's how are you ever going to pick a winner? It's ridiculous.
It's just it could all be down to one break. One break in a match that could go dry or get kicked in off or something, and you could lose the match because of it. That's how good the standard is now. But,
I saw you were experimenting with a cut break as well. Is that something you've done before?
Well, I couldn't get anything from the front, so I just tried it from the side. I done it against Andy the other day. I played Andy Lucas over in the corner over there yesterday, I think it was. And I was breaking from the front, the first 3 breaks, nothing, didn't pot anything. He was breaking from the side and just kept leaving them all in the middle of the tables all the time. Yeah. So I started doing it then, and then I think I dished the last 4 frames to win the match. So that swings and roundabouts.
It's good to have a second break, good to have something different, try something that's not working, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, well, when I seen Clint breaking there, he kept getting that ball in the corner all the time. I just thought I'll have a go at it and see if it works. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But
I think we're going to ban it.
I don't like it either. I don't like it.
It just doesn't look right, does it?
Yeah, no,
it's not right. No. You just got to bash them.
Yeah,
bash them, haven't you?
Yeah, I agree.
So, what's your thoughts on the venue? First time here.
Unbelievable place. It's absolutely huge, absolutely brilliant. But it's really, really nice place, and it's like I said, it's central. You can do whatever you like around here. It's better like that when the hotel's in the middle of town and stuff, and things, and the venue's in the middle of town.
Do you like having the gallery at the top next to the bar? So
yeah, I do, yeah, when people can look over, yeah. I think that's nice. It's a nice touch, definitely. And, I mean, some people do like to watch as well, especially this Saturday. Like last night when Boyle was playing Clint. Yeah. couldn't see. You couldn't. I was standing up the top there by the bar, and it was impossible to see. It was just a sea of people up there watching the game. So he ended up going to sit over on the side, about 3 tables away. But yeah, Clint done well, fair play.
Yeah, it was standing room only last night, wasn't it? And,
Yeah, it was,
obviously, Michael Peel getting to the final.
Yeah, well, I've known Michael obviously since I first started on the IPA tour, which was I don't know 10 years ago or so, whatever it may be now. But because he was playing on the tour then. But he had a few years out, didn't he? And I didn't see him for a few years. But then he's rocked up here now and got the final. So fair play to him.
Did you stay in the arena for the final? Did you see the atmosphere? The crowd were really behind him.
I was back in my room. I didn't see it. But
give over. You were out in Newcastle.
Did he put a good performance in?
Well, Clint was just very clinical. So, but in the 2 frames he took to go 2-2, the crowd was so behind him. It was the biggest cheer I've seen at an IPA event.
Yeah, he's a local boy as well.
So much support. It was absolutely brilliant atmosphere.
His break probably just killed him a bit. He was just breaking and sitting down.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. To be honest, I heard his break. He didn't get many chances on his break. So
Clint was just too clinical, taking his chances.
As I said just now, that's enough now. That's enough. I mean, one dry break, one in off, or a couple of dry breaks. You've had it. You know, especially at the top level, people just don't make mistakes when they're in the balls. You know.
So is the break something that you practice, or do you just?
I practice it quite a lot.
Yeah,
I do practice. I try different things and try and. I mean, it's all luck. You can practice till the cows come home, but you still need a little bit of luck to get one down at the end of the day. So
it is luck to make a ball, but it isn't luck to hit them well.
No,
it's not luck.
Timing and properly is definitely a big thing.
That's
why I think Mark Farnsworth struggles, because all that body movement and all that he does when he breaks, I think it's a massive downfall of his. I think that's the only thing that sort of lets him down.
Yeah.
I'm glad he hasn't got a good break, to be honest. He's winning everything without a good break. So
I'm glad you haven't got much body movement in the break, to be fair. But I think the Michael Peel and getting to the final and beating the players it just shows what is possible if it's your day.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're playing well. I mean, he was knocking them balls in with confidence like he does.
Yeah.
And he just sends a message to all them players out there and those people who want to aspire to get to the top. Just what is possible.
I mean, it's one match at a time. If you can go by, right, let's just pot this next ball, this one frame, this next pot, this next frame. You can plod along, and all of a sudden you can be where he is. As long as you're good enough, because you've had some good results, over the weekend, and anybody can do it now. Anybody half decent that can play the game, because the tables play so well here. Anybody can with a decent game can win one of these.
Do you sort of think, why didn't we have this cloth 10 years ago?
I love it. I do. As I said when it first came out, because I find it so much easier to sort of little soft screw shots are so much easier on you. They react so well, the balls and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely for me, the cloth.
Just to give you a bit of a score update, Jimmy Carney 5, Mark Farnsworth 3.
Ooh.
And Ben Davis 7 and 7-3 up over Simon Ward.
Yeah. So there's 4 Welsh out of 8. What is it about Welsh players? There's so many good players, isn't there, from Wales?
Yeah, there is.
Is there nothing else to do? What?
To be honest, pool in Wales is struggling a bit because of that fact. Because people are not fussed on playing tournaments with the likes of myself and Ben and Simon and all the time. They don't interested in entering. So unless it's handicapped, they're just not interested in Wales. But there are quite a few nice youngsters now coming through, like Little Owain. There's a few. Ian Richards, youngster this weekend, beat Arfan Dad. It's a great result for him, that is. So there's definitely a bit of talent coming through again. So with a bit of luck, I'll win a couple more World Championships before they all come through and I can retire.
But with there being so many good players around, it gives you someone a good practice match if you need it. If you want
anywhere you go in Wales, and especially South Wales now, any club has got a top player in it.
Yeah.
So you could play. Like I was spoilt when I was younger, because obviously I had Ben and Simon and there's loads of others like Marcus Phillips and people like that who are all on my doorstep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I practice with them all the time. That's why I ended up
pushing each other.
Of course, and that's exactly what I was like. I play a lot with Ben at the moment because we're sponsored by the same company as well. So we do practice a lot together. So it's nice to see him back playing, to be honest, because he had a year out, and when he come back, he sort of, his cue just felt so alien to him. He was really struggling with his cue, but since he's changed and sort of started practicing again now, he's playing really well again.
Yeah, he's going close so far this year, isn't he? He's had lost in a couple of semi-finals. He's knocking on the door again.
Hasn't been able to seem to get over the line yet. I don't suppose. No, maybe it's just like the break. Sort of when you stop winning all the time, regularly tournaments, it does become a little bit harder, I suppose, to sort of get over the line. But I'm sure he'll be fine.
I think once he does, it could open the floodgates.
Well, yeah, that's it, definitely.
Because there's not many Q better, that's for certain.
No, definitely, that's right.
He knows the game inside out, and
of course he does. He's won everything there is to be able to win, more or less, apart from the IPA Worlds, I suppose. But yeah, he's a good player.
So what will you do now? Will big match will almost be straight back on. Do you like to get away from the arena?
No, I'll probably just go and watch that game with Ben and Simon, or I don't know, Sheppy or somebody now, and then just get ready to play. Just hang about a bit, I suppose.
Just chill out, fairly relaxed. No,
hang about.
Yeah.
Sheppy's just won.
Sheppy's just gone through, so it's me and Jordan, then, is it?
You'll be straight back on the stream.
Yeah, you won't be long, so we better let you get off and get yourself ready.
Cheers, guys.
Well played.
See you in a bit. Cheers. Thanks.
See you again soon. So that's current IPA World Champion Craig Marsh, who now knows his semi-final opponent, Jordan Shepherd, and that's going to be another. It's quite a slow match, won't it?
Yeah, I think
tactical battle.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of tactical frames. It'll be slow. Yeah, not worth watching.
Yeah, it should be a cracker. Yeah, again, Ronan gets to the quarters, just can't get past the quarter-final stage. But what a great player he is.
Yeah.
What a great player. True legend of the game. True legend.
So we've got two more quarterfinals in action. We can see Ben Davis at the table. He's playing Simon Ward. Did he have a 7-3 lead last time we saw? I think. Trying to get the score.
7-4, was it?
Getting the score up. Yeah, he's 7-4 up on Simon Ward. And Jimmy Carney and Mark Farnsworth are 5-4 to Jimmy Carney. So
Jimmy Carney with a bit of. I do like the way Jimmy Carney plays, the intensity in his face. I do think that's great to see. You know, it just shows what it means to him.
Yeah.
And I love to see that.
Yeah, I spent a bit of time with Jimmy, trying to pick his brains and learn, and just help him out a little bit. So always keen to see his results. Get on really well with Jimmy. So nice to see him doing well.
Yeah, so we're going to get the next match on in 2-3 minutes. Jordan Shepherd, Craig Marsh. It's going to be a juicy one, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, quick fire action. It could come down to the breaks and who gets the opportunities. Both players look to be playing incredibly well, but we saw that yesterday with Jordan. He was playing incredibly well. Got to the quarter-finals against Clint, but Clint got the majority of the chances and was clinical enough to take them. So he was kept off the table, and it was an easy win for Clint in the end. So be interesting to see how that one develops.
It certainly will. Can Jimmy Carney hold it together against Mark Farnsworth? That's going to be the test for him.
Mark seems to end up in a lot of close games, doesn't he? He's in a lot of 8-6s, 7s and 8s. Doesn't have that many, 8-0s compared to a few of the other players. He's had a couple today, I say. Having said that, but maybe it's just the way it's been the last couple of tournaments. But he's just had an 8-0. So, and then I didn't see the scores this morning. He beat Jack Whelan 8-2. That's a surprising scoreline. So maybe that was just how I felt from the previous tournament.
We've been asked about the new racking device. It's just something that we're looking at. Can't really go into too much details about it. I mean, they are widely available, the racker, but yeah, so it's just something that we're having a little experiment on. this week. So, what's your predictions then, Simon? Shep and Marsh?
I think if Marshy keeps that focus that he played that previous match with, which I found very impressive, I think he edges it.
I mean, how many mistakes did he make in that match against Clint? 2?
Yeah, watching
One?
it, he made a couple, but they weren't, absolute outrageous mistakes. They were just small mistakes. You didn't feel. I never sensed he was in top gear during the match but I think it was a little bit of. There was a few tactical frames and a few frames they had to work out, and there was a bit more tactical play than normal. And when Craig's playing well, it's normally dish. They're wide open. So I felt that he wasn't right at top gear, but mentally he kept himself composed and ready to go. But hearing him talk afterwards, and he felt, he was in control of the match all the way through. So I think that sounds so positive that I think he's in the right frame of mind to win this tournament.
Yeah, I always think Sheppy though does have X factor. He's one of those players that he is one of the best players to watch, without a shadow of a doubt. As is Craig. This is just going to be a cracker. I mean, let's just sit back and enjoy and watch these two Blackball masters.